Have you ever experienced a moment so coincidental it seemed as if the universe was trying to give you a message? Have you ever witnessed a situation where a problem that seemed totally overbearing suddenly disintegrated into nothingness because of some random chance intervention? Do you know the feeling of your doubt creeping in after having had a great idea? And then just at that moment when your inner critic is about to win, there's an event around you that gives you validation of your original thoughts. Today, we are exploring two mysterious phenomena that often make people ponder about the nature of reality itself: synchronicity and serendipity. Many people have experienced synchronistic or serendipitous events. However, we have no conclusive scientific explanation of these unusual occurrences. So let's explore synchronicity. The word synchronicity was first used by Swiss psychoanalyst Carl Jung in 1930 to describe a peculiar pattern active in the world so that things happen together somehow and they behave as if they were the same. Something in our internal world, such as dreams, thoughts, moods, or emotions, is matched in the outer world almost simultaneously by one or more corresponding events. The meaningful connectedness may only be apparent to the person experiencing them. Examples of synchronicity include such uncanny moments like turning on the radio and hearing a song that echoes the thoughts you were just pondering about, or having a dream of someone and then the next day meeting that person by chance, or casually picking up a book, opening it to a random page and reading exactly the information you needed to know at this moment. Can you relate to any of these scenarios? These experiences test our understanding of the world. They hint at an underlying matrix of life that somehow connects everything in a way beyond our comprehension. Synchronicities can also be warnings. Experiencing a string of negative synchronicities can be a signal that we are straying off our path assigned with our highest good. For the past 15 years, I have had a synchronistic dance with the number 555. It started when this number began to pop up everywhere around me. It was so obvious I had to pay attention. It seemed like 555 was actually stalking me. So I began to consciously focus on this number every time it appeared, and I was trying to figure out what the hidden meaning was. And I realized that this number acts as a confirmation that I am on the right path, or it wants to guide me to the next steps I should take. When I experience these bursts of seeing 555, this number can appear in car license plates. It can be hidden in telephone numbers, in sales receipts, in addresses, or in serial numbers around gadgets that I encounter. And when the rate of seeing this number increases, I learned it indicates to me that I begin to ride a supportive synchronistic wave. Things start to fall in place easily, and I am guided to important opportunities. Over the years, 555 has become an important compass for me, always reflecting my alignment with life's rhythm. If I get distracted, if I allow myself to succumb to the lower vibration of fear or anger, the numbers around me reflect this instantly. Instead of seeing 555 at first, I see 554 or 556. This indicates to me that I'm slipping off that supportive synchronistic wave. And if I do not pay attention to this, then the numbers I see will be 553 or 557. And if I do not internally self-correct, then the numbers I see will deviate further away from 555. This has become a very valuable feedback for me, always alerting me when I'm straying off my path. When this occurs, I know I must pause, meditate, and refocus myself. Numbers are involved in synchronistic events for many people, so please pay attention to them. And no, setting your alarm to go off every day at 11:11 so that you catch that mystic number does not count. For this to be meaningful, the numbers must emerge organically. Synchronicity is not limited to revealing itself just through numbers. There are countless ways it can manifest. It could be the reflection of the sun on a shiny penny on the sidewalk, or noticing a rainbow, or the appearance of an animal, or maybe the content of an overheard conversation held by random strangers, or any other event really that becomes meaningful through the context of this situation. These signs, subtle as they may be, can be universal nudges to get us back on our true path. Yet not all moments align. Sometimes synchronicity is more elusive. When our internal clock misfires, when we are off with our personal timing, then we experience asynchronistic events. And they present themselves often in form of missed opportunities. Perhaps it is related to our hectic times. We are consumed by endless tasks and distractions, often missing those magic moments when the universe tries to whisper in our ear. These disconnects can be a valuable reminder to engage in proper self-care, to recalibrate and realign. This disconnect can be a signal to engage in proper self-care, to recalibrate and to retune. I feel that synchronicity and serendipity are a bit like siblings. Both of them are dealing with meaningful coincidences somehow, but from different angles. And both of them also somehow create shortcuts in our life. Like siblings in a family, they are all related, but they express themselves individually. Let's see how serendipity manifests. It is defined as an unexpected, pleasant surprise. Serendipity, one could say, is finding without searching. It creates a shortcut somehow. However, it is not related to anything that is on our radar at this time. Now you might wonder, is that not the description of just any lucky coincidence? Well, people feel that serendipity is often related to their higher calling or to their soul purpose. serendipitous events tend to be meaningful for the specific journey of the person experiencing them. And this is really what separates serendipity from just random luck. Let me explain this on a personal example. When I was growing up in Germany, I was very interested in the history of my family. I traveled to places where my ancestors had lived, and I conducted interviews with relatives. And this way I was able to collect some photos and learn some anecdotes about family members I never met. You might know this saying, when a person dies, it is as if a library closes its doors forever. And so over time, as these human libraries faded, so did my pursuit of my heritage. And it soon took a complete backseat when I moved to the United States in the late 1990s. So now fast forward to 2019. After conducting workshops on self-realization, energy healing, and other spiritual topics, I suddenly felt that strong urge to accelerate my personal evolution. And I thought that immersing myself into a challenging situation would lead to additional growth. And learning more about the complexities of death and dying seemed like a proper challenge. And also these topics align really well with the type of spiritual workshops I offer. So after training to become a nurse assistant, I began to work part-time in hospice care. And my first assigned hospice client was a senior citizen who was a German expatriate, as I am. So we started to speak German, and I noticed from his pronunciation and the usage of certain words that this sounded specific to the region where my ancestors lived. And it turned out he grew up in the neighboring village to where my great-grandparents operated a brewery and a restaurant. Can you imagine my surprise and my disbelief? Luckily, I had collected the old photos decades ago, and my client recognized the buildings and the people. The first beer he drank was brewed by my great-grandfather. And during festivities, he ate food which was cooked by my great-grandmother and her son, my grandfather. What are the odds of this happening? Does that not seem to defy just statistical probabilities? I was very grateful for this serendipity because it reconnected me with my roots. And at the same time, this connected an unexpected familiarity with my client, leading to poignant closure for both of us. When I was training to become a caregiver, when I accepted this client, at no point was my German ancestry on my mind. Yet somehow space and time were bent to converge events separated through more than 7 decades and across the Atlantic. Now, do you see why I feel that synchronicity and serendipity are closely related? Synchronicity, one could say, is the introverse sibling, always scanning the inner world and matching it instantly through experiences in the outer reality. While serendipity seems to be the extroverted one, always wondering and finding meaning and joy when you least expect it. I feel that synchronicity is happening when strong internal frequencies, almost magnetically, attract resonating vibrations around us. And serendipity occurs when longer phased undercurrents finally meet. And both of them, synchronicity and serendipity, reveal to us that we can receive effortlessly by simply being fully present. It can give us confirmation of our thoughts, insight, clarity, new important information, access to physical things, or establish important new personal relations. While many people find meaning in these mysterious coincidences and receive benefit from them, they always require an individual subjective interpretation. And that really doesn't help when science is trying to figure out what a comprehensive explanation of these phenomena could be. There have been accounts of so-called mystic events. It is the realization that the inner and the outer realities are not separated. And many spiritual seekers are trying to find this enlightening experience, but it is a rare occurrence. It is my theory that through synchronicity and serendipity, this oneness of everything reveals itself to us. And while these are fleeting moments, they show us that there is something more to it. And I think that's what makes these experiences so powerful, so profound, and at the same time, it challenges our status quo. How about a comparison to music? In the concert of life, synchronicity would be like the metronome. It precisely aligns with our life's tempo. It helps to keep your personal rhythm in sync with the music of the universe, and at the same time, it offers beats that resonate with your current mood and thoughts. Serendipity, on the other hand, could be compared to a surprise guest musician, to virtuosi who occasionally join the orchestra for an impromptu solo. You didn't expect them, you didn't plan for them, and they add a wonderful layer to your life's composition that you didn't know you were missing, or that it was even possible at all. Did you feel any internal resonance with anything that I shared today? Are you sometimes aware of this underlying pattern of all connectedness? Are you curious about exploring these phenomena further? If yes, then I hope that my talk inspired you to keep an open mind. Adopt a mindset of allowing for surprises. Think of every day as special enough to celebrate it and worthy to receive gifts from the universe. And maybe you stumble over shortcuts while you are creating your life as this artistic masterpiece. So let's hold this focus. And next time when the universe winks at you, are you prepared to see the signs?